Okay, so in recent years, you've probably heard of the order of operations. Um, for this time, we're going to elaborate more on a little bit more practice and kind of make it a little bit more challenging for order of operations. So please write this down. So to recall what the order of operations is that the order of operations tells us the order to solve steps in expressions with more than one operation. Now, if you don't know what an operation is, an operation is there's four in math. There's the addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Now, those are the four operations that we have in math. So order of operations, it tells us it's a way to express or the way a procedure works into making some calculations work in the correct fashion. Our calculators, our computers all use a process of what we call the order of operations. So let's try a few examples. And I want us to look at this one a little bit more clearly. So please write this down. And this is A and B. And you're probably thinking, okay, this is the same, the same problem. Just we're going to do it a little bit differently each one. So let's go for it. So our first one, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to take 3 plus 5, which is 8, and then copy down the rest. And that's what I'm going to do there. Okay, and after that, what's the next thing to do here? Well, I'm going to go 8 minus 6 is 2. And then 2 divided by 2 is 1. Well, look on this one. If I do the division first, that's 3 plus 5 minus 3. Do you see how I'm keeping everything that I don't use written down? So for this negative 6 divided by 2 is negative 3. And then I use leftovers here. So 3 plus 5 is 8, minus 3, and then 8 minus 3 is 5. Now, I want you to look at something. Do you see how these two are different? 1 does not equal 5. So there's an error here. There's an error. And it's how we proceed with this. It's how our fundamental process goes through this. So I hope that you understand what goes on there. So what's the problem here? Well, the problem is they're not equal. So in order to make this work the correct way, let's use our famous PEMDAS. And hopefully that in recent classes you learned PEMDAS a lot more. So you have parentheses, you have exponents, you have multiplication, you have division, you have addition and subtraction. Now, I think I told you this before, is that the parentheses are a grouping mechanism. The exponents has a little square to it. There's multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. Now, on these four here, you have to go in order. These are pretty much, you have to go in order. It doesn't matter. These two down here, addition and subtraction, they really doesn't matter. So this does not matter. And what I mean by does not matter, you don't need to go a specific way. So let's say, for example, if you remember, if you have addition or subtraction, you don't need to go in a particular order. So let's do this. I hope that you remember PEMDAS. And PEMDAS is another saying of please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. And I hope that you remember that saying because that's kind of what we've been interpreting. All right, let's try some of these. So let's do this one here. Yes, I put these are the answers here. Let's just make sure we get the answer. 14. Let's see if this is 14. And if you can do this on your own, perfect. So here we go. So if you want to take a moment and write this down, that'd be good. So first thing first, I'm not going to write down PEMDAS. Well, maybe I will this time. Okay, here's your PEMDAS. I'm going to go through this. So first off, do I see any parentheses here? Do I see any parentheses here? And you'd be like, yes, I do. I see parentheses right there. So what I'm going to do is leave everything else alone. Everything else is going to be alone. And what is minus 2 plus 5? Minus 2 plus 5 is going to be 3. Okay, so now what? Well, P is gone. Where's the exponent at? Oh, exponent's here. So that's going to be 3 times 3, which is 9. So that's negative 4 plus 2 times 9, correct? Okay, so that's exponents. Do you have any multiplication? Well, 2 times 9 is 18. So you have negative 4 plus 18. So that takes care of the multiplication. Do we have any division? No, we don't have any division. Do we have an addition? We have an addition, but there's a subtraction. Well, don't you have negative 4 plus 18? And that's going to be 14. And that's the answer that we have up there. Okay, just making sure it works. If you did this another way, you probably wouldn't get 14. And if you did this on a calculator, yes, you can put this on a calculator. You can still get the same thing, but I don't want you to do that because this is what you need to think about your process. And you'd be like, well, I can use a calculator instead. It's like, well, no. I want you to actually go through the process because I want you to trust yourself. So let's do some more. So this next one here. This one should get you negative 18. So let me zoom up here. All right. So we have negative 4 plus 2 times negative 2 plus 5. And I want us to go ahead and figure this out. So what is negative 4 plus 2? Well, that's going to be negative 2, correct? Parenthesis. We're doing the stuff inside the parentheses first. Now, what is negative 2 plus 5? Negative 2 plus 5 is going to be 3 squared. Okay, so what is the next point in PEMDAS? It's your exponents. So what is 3 times 3? Is 9. So you have negative 2 times 9. And negative 2 times 9 is going to be 18. And that's what we get for our answer. Okay, so let's keep going. What about this one? We should have 12 for this one. And this says negative 3 times negative 2 squared. There's a squared in there. Let me try to zoom in as best I can here and see if this works for you. Okay, so here we go. So that's a squared there. So this is going to be negative 3 times, what is negative 2? What is negative 2 times negative 2? And I hope that you're going to say 4. And what's going to be 3 times 4, which is 12. But remember that negative comes along, so you have to have negative 12. And actually, yeah, it's not correct, but it is negative 12. I guess I didn't check that. That's okay. All right, next one. A little bit more complicated, but not too bad. Looks like this. So, here we go. PEMDAS. So, PEMDAS. Is there any parentheses? First, no parentheses. Is there any exponents? Yes, there is. So you're going to go 2 times 25 minus 10 divided by 9 minus 4. All I did is did the exponents. Okay. Well, where are we going next here? Let's see. Exponents are gone. Do we have any multiplication? There is multiplication right here. 2 times 25 is going to be 50 minus 10 divided by 9 minus 4. Okay, cool. So that's multiplication. Do we have any division? Well, we do have division, but let me ask you something. Sorry. So what is 50? What is 50 minus 10?